the pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
Just a little bit
Follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome for the first time in 2025. Tonight's feature presentation of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series presented by Voiles Trucking, live right here on JTN. We are so glad you're back joining us here tonight. Hello and welcome, folks. My name is Joe Twansky. Joining me up here in the booth tonight, he is the one, the only, Mr. Ricky Collette. Ricky, welcome back to the airwaves, buddy, here on January 30th, 2025.
Joe, it's great to be back with you tonight here for some great racing with Bomb Squad at Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Going to be a fun time tonight with these guys. Every time we come to Pocono, I don't know, something in the water here. We always have something. We always have a fun race.
A tricky race?
Always have an exciting one with these guys, especially with Bomb Squad. Glad to be back, and I think we're going to have some fun tonight.
Would you say it's tricky, Ricky?
Yeah, the Ricky Triangle.
The Ricky Triangle. Well, 70 laps here tonight for these drivers. What challenges face them at Pocono, maybe that differs from some of our other tracks that we'll see throughout the year?
I
know, a tough question.
What was it again?
What's the largest challenge tonight for these drivers?
I think it's going to be just the nature of this track. Old Pocono. Actually, this is an old Pocono, but this is this is old Pocono. So track's a little rougher, a little less grip. You have to slow down for these turns a little more, and that means that you have to kind of play around with how the car's getting around this place. You have to worry about shifting. Open setup tonight, so these guys can kind of like take some swings at how they have their gearing, and some of these guys might be downshifting into third going through turn 1 and turn 3. Some of these guys might be downshifting to third all 3 turns, or some of these guys might be in 4th gear all the way around the track. Someone might be psychotic and match 3rd and 4th gear to have a spare backup gear and then be running 3rd all the way around the track. You never know. But a lot of different ways that you could handle shifting around this place. And I think that's always been the hardest part about it. They don't call it the tricky triangle for nothing. It definitely is a technical track, and a lot of that comes down to momentum and having to maintain your RPMs through the turns. Whichever way you can get the most RPMs down to the ground is the way you're going to be faster on this joint.
What's your favorite of these 3 corners?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a tricky one. I always think the tunnel turn's fun to shoot through. And now it's kind of like shooting straight through the, when you hit the points on that, it's very satisfying. Get right at that rumble strip.
It's just a fun one, right? Like it's like you want to go, I mean, you try to go full throttle through there. I don't know if you can. Maybe you can. I don't think I ever have, but you try to go as close to full throttle through that corner as possible. You're right on the edge. I always like trying to dig off a turn 3 here, right? Because what turn 4 at Pocono, but do you know what kind of triangle Pocono is, Ricky?
A tricky triangle.
Well, what is it scalene, isosceles, right?
Obtuse. Look at the tunnel turn. That's definitely more than a 90-degree angle.
There you go. Don't turns less than 90 degrees, isn't it? No. No. I don't know how angles work. Sorry. And I'm an engineer. Qualifying, though, has concluded. Cars are going to get out there for happy hour. Ricky, why don't you take us through tonight's starting lineup?
With pleasure, Joe. For tonight's race here at the Pocono Raceway, we'll be having a field of 18 cars starting tonight, and starting on pole at time 52.333 seconds is going to be the 28 machine of old BSR Mac Daddy Keith McLean. Starting in spot number 2 is the 93 car of BSR Ricky J. BSR Tyler in the 18 car will be starting for the 3rd spot. From 4th will be Joshua Clements. Car number 5 will be the 011 tonight, piloted by Steve Grant, and in the 66 machine will be BSR Terry Scott. Rick Craddock in the 22 will start 7th, and Wiley King in the 095 will be starting for the 8th position. In number 9 spot, car 32 will be BSR Pantelica, and Greg Jules will round out the top 10. 32 car in 9th, last car take a time in qualifying, interestingly enough. Rest of the field picked on a random draw. Greg Jules actually the last car to take a time, so 10 cars to qualifying times. 88 car, 10th spot. 11th goes to the 144 car, BSR Magoo. 12th spot goes to the 103 car, BSR Nelly. Spot number 13 goes to car number 17 of Stinson. Silver Bullet in the 4 car will be starting from the 14th spot. From 15th will be the 114 car of BSR Eli. Rain Fade, the 49 car will be starting for the 16th spot. 17th spot will go to the 028 car of BSR Monte Keller. And rounding out the field, spot number 18 will be the 68 BSR Mr. Brian Voiles. And that's going to be your starting lineup for tonight's race at Pocono, Joe. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
About
I'm
tonight.
excited. Excited to be back in the booth here this evening. We're going to have a glorious time.
And Joe, one other thing we're gonna probably see tonight, we'll probably see some drafting on those straightaways,
Oh, yeah?
especially on that front straightaway.
What is drafting?
Well, in football, you got a guy, you draft him.
Running behind another guy?
Yeah.
And he's drafting behind
Well,
him?
drafting is, two cars are driving. What a car's driving in front of the other, then the disturbed air behind that front car basically makes like an area of low pressure, which lowers the resistance from the car behind it, which means that it allows it to move up to it with less resistance than it would be against the air by itself.
Welcome in, Kathy. Welcome in, Zach, in chat. Hope you're both doing well this evening. Yeah, exactly, right, Ricky? It's kind of, people always talk about dirty air. And I go on this little soapbox from time to time, but people talk a lot about dirty air in motorsports now and how that kind of affects the car, and everyone's arrowed out, whether it be F1 IndyCar or, of course, stock car racing. Dirty air is draft. Right? Dirty air is the absence of air and downforce that wake puts on the front of the car, on the leading car. That is beneficial in the corners, but of course becomes a hindrance down the straightaways. Aerodynamics are cool.
Aerodynamics are fun.
That's right. Alley into the wall there a little bit. Off of turn 1. Feel free. I'm not going to roast Greg. This is the first time I've gotten to see Greg race, I believe. Not going to do that. Kathy, you gotta, as someone with a little brother, and I say little, I don't say baby. I say little, because I don't know if you have multiple siblings, but I only have one. As someone with a little brother, I always gotta protect him. And I'm the only one that's allowed to make fun of him. Anyone else makes fun of him, we have problems. Just wouldn't feel right, Zach. It just wouldn't feel right. Oh, Greg. That was a baby brother move there off of turn 2. There you go. How's that? Monty Keller there in the 028. Okay, so that makes sense, Kathy. Makes sense. Well, that's why you get to make fun of them in chat tonight. How about that? Ready to race, Ricky?
I'm ready to race, Joe. Are you ready to race?
I'm ready to race.
Ready to boogie here at almost a Daytona and ready for Daytona 500 Pocono.
Drivers, start your engines!
Mac Daddy rolling off from the pole position here tonight in the number 28. Ricky J to his outside. Tyler Mallon and Joshua Clements there in row 2. Row 3, Steve Grant and Terry Scott. Rick Craddock, Wiley King, Pantelica, and Greg Jules, your top 10 here to start this race. 70 laps around this 2.5-mile racetrack here tonight. Stars and cars of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series presented by Voiles Trucking. We're about to take to this tricky triangle nestled deep in the mountains of Pennsylvania. Ricky, we are in for a treat here this evening.
We are indeed, Joe. We're about ready to have some fun here at Pocono, the trickiest of the triangles. Joe, do you know of any other triangles that are this tricky?
No, because I was good at geometry, so like triangles were easy. What about you?
Maybe the Bermuda Triangle?
Ah, no, just fly through it. Yeah. Pace car will make the hard left turn down the pit lane. Mac Daddy with control here to start this race. Flagman with green in hand. Fans are on their feet in the stands. And we are racing here from Pocono. Green flag. See some jostling there towards the back of the pack. Dean Stinson getting down into the bottom lane. 88 car falling back here on this start. Already has lost 3 or 4 positions. Battle for second is on, though, between Tyler Mallon and Ricky J.
Mallon got the run there through 1 and 2. Ricky J's on the outside. Mallon's got that preferred line going through the dog leg That tunnel turn, Ricky J's going to let him have it. Going to try to defend that position against a 92 Joshua Clemens. When you got someone passing you on the inside going through that tunnel turn, you usually want to filter out just single file. You don't want someone else, because that guy behind you can run that preferred line too. So if you let him get to the inside, he's going to have a great run and get into you. 93 doing a great job of defending there. Right in the back bumper, the 18 coming off the exit of turn number 3.
You can already see everyone really loose on corner exit right now. That 93 pushing the 18 down the front straightaway. Further on back, Terry Scott to the inside of Nelly. This for the 9th spot.
Oh, 4-car Silver Bullet just overcorrected in turn 1. Got up into the wall. Looks like right behind him. 32 car might have also caught the wall some.
I'll navigate through.
These guys, yeah, cold tires, brutal here. Open setup, especially brutal, because these guys all probably have that weight far back in the car. Just try to get it to rotate. And on cold tires, it just makes it so unwieldy. And you see the 095 here, Wiley King really wash up the track. Got the 22 of Rick Craddock into the inside. The bright side is, as these tires warm up for a lot of these guys, it's going to tighten up. But it just takes a few laps for it to kick in. I see the 93 actually pushing the 18 car, Tyler Mallon here, into turn 1. We'll see if 18 overdrives that from the push.
Old Ricky J ain't, he's not messing around tonight, is he?
No, I think he wants to get to the front, Joe.
Top 5 remain in parade order. Working lap number 3 from Pocono. It is Mac Daddy out in front from pole as he gets into the grass, and that's going to allow the 18 to pounce.
Over corrected into 3, Joe. We just saw that the last time around with the Wiley King and the 95. Mac Daddy did the same thing. Great job of keeping off the wall, but that's going to relegate him back to 3rd position, putting Ricky J and Tyler Mallon into spot number 2 and 1, respectively.
Oh, we got one around in turn number 1. That's Nelly. Also another car around. Wiley King. I believe that should bring out our first caution of the night. A couple more collected up in it. Rick Craddock, Silver Bullet, Brian Voiles. Caution number 1 out here on lap 4.
Joe, looks like there's some contact here. Craddock was in the 6th spot. Looks like Nelly got into the back of him. Just got to send him around going into the entry of 1.
Three
cars. 095 spun out. 103 spun out. The problem is, too, all these guys entering the turn are trying to check up. Someone actually, Brian Voiles drove into the 22 while he was sitting up against the wall. Problem with there's so much rear weight in these cars, like I said, with the open setup. When these guys get on the brakes, because you have the car so loose that you're basically just slowing it down by letting momentum do its work. The minute that you hit the brakes, it almost like you can't adjust the brake bias on these cars and are, so you're kind of fixed to whatever it is. So the car really wants to step out when you hit the brakes, set a spot on the track where you don't want to be braking. And a lot of the guys just almost spun into that.
On board with Wiley King down into turn 1. Right behind the initial contact between the 103 and 22 cars. You heard Ricky talking about, you can see there with your own eyes, you can hear Wiley's getting off the gas to slow down for the corner, and then immediately gets completely off the gas, Ricky, and hear him modulating the throttle, working both feet, and just not able to avoid running into the back of the 103. But that does bring out our first caution of the night. It'll give all these drivers an opportunity to take a first crack at pit lane. Would expect most of them to do so. Doing good, Allison. How's it going? It has been a long time, but we're happy to be back. Limited coverage of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series this season for us here on JTN. I think we had some well-needed, well-deserved time off. But should be back with select races from a lot of our league partners this year. Good to hear. Good to hear. Hope your 2025 is off to a good start.
Everyone coming down pit road here. You kind of have to. Brain Fade got to stay out. I think he's just going to get some click off some points here.
And why not, right? Early in the race, stay out, lead a lap, get those bonus points. I mean, you're a fan of bonus points, right?
Yeah, I'm a fan of bonus points.
You a fan of bonus checks?
Huh?
Oh, we don't give them out here at JTN.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. We'll be live again Saturday night. Lynn Voiles Memorial race from Daytona with their friends here at Bomb Squad. Their trucks. Big race, 50% race down there at Daytona, 100 laps. So tune in for that one. Coverage kicking off at 9 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday night. Myself and Austin Spencer on the call for that one. Encourage you to tune in for what's always a really fun time, a really good race. So yeah, Lynn Voiles Memorial this Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Only on JTN. Bum bum bum. Do 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 do. We need to get our like I mean, I'm assuming you listen to MRNPRN on the radio from time to time, right?
Yeah.
We need to get our own like I love their music. It sounds so good. The dun 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 da 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 da. Yeah. Like we need that. I'm really hoping when TNT and Amazon are doing their broadcast this year, they have some like really good music.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me
And then I don't know if you saw it today, but they announced if you have a Max subscription, you get all the onboard cameras for free for your Cup Series races, along with driver scanner audio.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's pretty cool. For all the drivers, I think, and then they'll also have like a multi-box where they will have drivers pre-selected. That might actually be something that gets me to get Max, if I'm being honest with you.
I might still have it. I gotta do some pruning of
Subscription services.
I gotta do some pruning of subscriptions. Yeah, but I might hang on to it for that.
Last I checked, that was one of the cheaper ones out there, but I'm not sure. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for Prime though, because I don't have Prime. Oh, it's $10 a month with ads. Wow, never mind. It's not terrible, I guess. This is the one thing I don't like about Pocono is these caution lamps. They take a long time. What say you?
Yeah, well, that's a problem with it. It's also old Pocono too, so in our version they put a lot of laps on it from the box. I think it's like 3 laps or something like that. It definitely takes some time.
So lights are out. We'll go back green next time by. Ricky J now has the race lead. Tyler lost it on pit lane. Also lost second spot to Mac Daddy, who had that first pit stall. So pit stalls and those qualifying positions might come back into play. Dane Stinson is up into the top 5 in the number 17. Your biggest mover so far in this race. Joshua Clements sandwiched in there between the 18 and the 17. Why was 6 afraid of 7, Ricky?
Because 7, 8, 9.
Oh my goodness. You're so funny. Do you perform anywhere?
No.
Okay.
I should. No.
You
Okay.
should. Allison, I hope it's a good race, man. I hope it's a good race this weekend. But I would not be surprised if it is not good.
I think it'll be fun.
It'll be fun, because it's different. Right? Like, I think that's the thing. If it's different, it'll be fun for at least a year. It's also going to be cold, right? So... Ricky J with control here for the restart. Coming back to lap 9 of 70. Green flag, and we're back underway.
Ricky J getting a good launch on all these guys going through that tunnel turn. The Mac Daddy in that second spot
Oh,
trying to
got
get
one
back.
around.
We got
That's
a car
brain
into
fade.
the outside wall in the back. 49 a brain fade. 103 a BSR Nelly. Both go around in the dirt. But there's the caution, and we are back under yellow here at Pocono. Lap number 9 of 70.
I think Brain's just gonna get a little loose here.
Looks like they make contact there, Joe.
Oh, never mind. Maybe Brain isn't gonna get a little loose. Oh. Give that one more look. Hard to tell if the 49 was getting loose before the 103 made contact or after, but the 103 made contact, and that definitely sent the 49 around, Ricky. Brain got Nellies. Rivals bumping and banging on Sunday will be good. Not tonight, though. We don't like that. We like green flag racing here at JTN. Here's my 8 wide racing. Deal with it. Punk. I don't know. Ricky, have you ever seen him go 8 wide?
A couple times.
I don't know if I said it, but hello, Dalton. I know I thought it in my head, but hello. Hope everyone's having a good time out there. Say hello if you haven't already. Hope you're having a good Thursday night. I got Austin with me in the booth Saturday, Zach. Ooh, Wiley King around missed his box or something. Reading the chat. Mac Daddy, though, wins the race off pit road. Released of those leaders. Hey, Scarlights are out. We'll go back green next time by Ricky. Who do you got winning the race on Sunday?
Do you want the fun choice or do you want the boring choice?
The fun choice.
Larson?
That's not fun.
Well, the boring choice is going to be Logano.
Oh my goodness. Those are both boring.
Sorry, William Byron.
Oh my god.
Really fun, right? Okay. I don't know. What do you want me to do? Lie? I'm not a liar.
No, I know.
I am a journalist.
Barely.
A journalist.
Carson hover car winning would be
Oh,
cool.
car spun around behind everyone. Or a silver bullet. What did he just money shifted you?
Did he drink too many of them? Silver bullets?
I mean, he was a. Oh, looks like maybe there's a low. Oh, there's a checkup in front of him. He just got bounced out of line, but lights are still off of the pace car, so we'll be going green this time. Steve Grant going to be leading us here with the 17 car right behind him. Brian Voiles in third, and then fourth it's going to be Mac Daddy and Ricky J in the fifth spot. So these guys taking some strategy gamble here. We'll see how it pays off, Joe.
And see if no tires with what, a corner? I think is what they ran. So top three have a corner worth of tire wear. Steve Grant lead us back to green, coming to lap 13 of 70. Green flag, we're back underway, and Boyles with a tough restart there in the 68. Everyone's going to go on by his outside.
Look at that car spun the tires a little bit, Joe. It looked like it didn't grip up.
A little bit. I would say a lot bit. Ooh.
Everyone's staying nice and clean and green here coming into the tunnel turn. Steve Grant still leading with the 17 car. Stinson right behind him. Interesting here that staying out is working for that 011 at the moment. 22, Rick Craddock gets sideways at turn 3. He hangs onto it, slaps the fuel tank against the wall, keeps it straight. We stay green.
Sometimes you gotta use that wall to your advantage, you know? Lemons to the inside of Keller, down into turn 1. Take over that 5th spot. Mac Daddy going on by Dane Stinson for 2nd, so he continues to try to get back to the race lead.
Oh, 11 of Grant wiggled there in turn 3. I think that's where the tires kicked in for a sec, Joe. Had to catch it. Interestingly enough, that was about where the 28 of Mac Daddy had the same issue earlier in the race. So one bit him and one gave it back to him. Mac Daddy back to point. Ricky J to 2nd. Stinson back to that 3rd spot. 0-11 of Steve Grant hanging on to 4th. Tyler Malachi is stuck in this 5th position. Has not been able to make the same moves that the 93 and the 28 made yet.
I always wondered too what kind of tire save and conservation is going on in that 18 camp.
I don't really know. I mean, the only thing you can really do for tire conservation here is that you're just not putting as much wheel into it.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue, too, is that if everyone's on different setups, you don't really know what anyone else has for tire saving until you get a full run.
Top 4 have kind of broken away. Top 3 from that. Top 2 from that. As this field starts to get strung out, Ricky, what are your thoughts on drivers maybe saving a little so they can run longer on fuel?
I think it's a good call here at Pocono. It's got the makings of a green flag run, as we've got about 10 laps under green so far from last caution. It's got the makings of a green flag run, and it's a big track. You can't save a lot of fuel here, but like anything you can save could be the difference between getting an extra lap on track between everyone else that's pitting and maybe having to come in earlier. Kind of throwing a wrench into your strategy for later in the race. So I think it's worth it. I think any bit helps, but for someone like the 28 and Mac Daddy, it's a little tricky because you don't want the 93 to pass you. You don't want to let him get that clean nose and all the track that he wants to run around here. As we're talking, though, 88 Greg Jules spun around, looks like in turn number 3. Down in the grass, no caution for that. Goes down to the access road. These guys will get on right by him. 93 car. You see Ricky J really got close to the wall there. The 17 car really has not lost these guys, Joe, for taking that tire strategy. Steve Grant, I mean, the 011 has hung on to that 4th spot. So maybe these tires have equalized a little bit with heat.
Well, again, pretty much what happened is, I don't even know if they got their tires up through a heat cycle on that one restart, right? They ran about a corner. a third of this racetrack maybe at speed, and you know, not surprised to see that those guys are able to hold on, but I also think this 28 and the 93, they might just be the two class of the field. That's right, Steve. Look at that 28 Mac Daddy go. Welcome in, buddy. Well, it's going okay, Steve. How are you?
BSR Tyler has been starting to track down that 111 car, that 011 car, excuse me. As you can see, that Mallin's kind of getting that lower line here into turn number 1 as they're going down the short chute, going for the dog, like the 011 starts to kind of leg it back out just a little bit. Up front, though, Mac Daddy's been getting some heavy challenge from Ricky J. Joe, I think this is kind of going into what you're talking about kind of trying to save the car. I think that 28's not showing his full hand right now.
I always wonder, Mac Daddy's a guy that he likes to drive aggressive, Ricky. As long as I've known him, he's always full out, always trying to drive the car to its absolute limits lap after lap. Not that that's a bad thing, but sometimes it bites him in races like this, so I'll be intrigued to see if they've been able to adjust his strategy behind the wheel to accommodate for a race that so often seems to reward the drivers that save their vehicle compared to those that really push the limits of it.
Yeah, we'll have to see, Joe. It'll be interesting.
Ricky's sitting over there like, what the heck did you just say, Joe?
No. I'm just looking at these guys, though, about how they're saving, like, what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the inside and in cars on all these top 3, and I'm seeing tachometers around 7,000 for each of them going through the turn. So they're downshifting. They're still pretty much doing everything that would imply that they're not saving, like, they're not clutching it. I think if they're saving anything, it's probably going to be coming from how much wheel they're putting into it going into the turns here. Up, caution is out.
Oh,
For the 88 car of Greg Jules.
Greg.
Oh, wait, no, I think it's a 4 Silver Bullet. Yeah, Silver Bullet. Sorry about that. Looks like the 4 car just lost itself coming out of turn 3 here on the front straightaway by himself. In terms of strategy, though, Joe, I think the biggest winners here is going to be that 17, that 011 car. Stayed out last time during that last run. Well, on that last caution, they stayed out. Brian Voiles also stayed out, but he kind of got relegated back to 10th. But these guys stayed with it, and now they're on the same tire cycle as the leaders. They don't have to play defensive here.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got just a little bit more that they can play around with. That 17 really has been was running pretty well for the strategy call, though, too. So I'm interested to see what putting these guys on even rubber is going to do, because 20 laps, close to 20 laps from our last yellow, I don't think anyone stays out. I think everyone has to come down pit road.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assessment. So pit stops incoming. This is a good kind of quarter mark, almost halfway mark in this race. Rather, Ricky, for these drivers to kind of take a step back and make an assessment of the car now that they've had that long green flag run. So we'll see who made what adjustments, who picks up some speed, who loses some. Nelson in chat saying he's putting his money on the 17 car to win this one. Ricky, I know we're not allowed to pick winners, but who are you liking so far?
I'm thinking Mac Daddy, Ricky J, both have been class of the field so far. Those cars look fast.
Mm-hmm.
I would think one of those two. If we can't pick one, I'll pick two.
Fair enough. And Mac Daddy's coming back down pit lane, Ricky.
That's interesting.
You want to change anything?
Well, I think that car's still pretty fast, Joe. I don't change anything at all.
You gotta know something. See, they were doing, for folks that don't know, they were doing the pre-race inspection. They had to do it at Charlotte Motor Speedway today because obviously there isn't room to have the big inspection tents set up at Bowman Gray. They had all the teams go through inspection today at Charlotte, and then they'll load all the cars back onto the transporters and kind of parade them over to Bowman Gray. Any paint schemes that you've seen so far, Ricky, that have caught your eye for the new season?
Well, I like that 40 car.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You big Traveler whiskey guy?
I didn't even know what it was until
Okay.
they announced it. I'm conflicted because I really like the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then they showed a photo of the hauler today sitting outside the shop, and the number that they have on it, because it's just a black truck with stickers on it, is like a different. It's the same font 40, but it has like this gold like outline instead of a drop shadow, and it looks really sharp. And I'm kind of
Oh, man, they didn't do that for the
I
actual
saw it
number.
and I was like, car should have been black now. It looks so sharp. Almost look like Smokey and the Bandit. Joe, who do you think's gonna win, or who are your two people?
I'm
Who's
not
you gonna
picking
win
anyone
tonight?
to win. No. No, that is asking for trouble. That's right, Elio's racing in the Daytona 500.
Is it Elio or Helio?
I've always said Elio. But someone can tell me if I'm wrong. How does he say it?
I don't know.
I thought he said Elio Castro Neves. Yeah, that's right. Dax thinks I'm right, Ricky, so ha. What now? Getting ready to go back. Green flag racing here. Ricky J with control for the restart. Pace car is in. And green flag. We're back underway. Remember, the guy to watch is this 28 of Mac Daddy, looking to make a 3-wide pass here off of turn number 1. Eli there stuck in the middle. Pantelica to the outside. Mac Daddy gets 2 for 1 there off of turn 1.
Yeah, that 28 car is fast, Joe. I think we're going to see him click his way back to the front very quickly. Oh, they're all slipping and sliding near the back, but they stay clean.
There's an oil spill down there, is there?
Nah, I think it's just that old, that Pennsylvania air.
Oh, yeah.
Very moist.
Okay.
What, didn't like that word choice?
No, I did not. I can appreciate it, but I didn't like it.
"28 Mac Daddy rearing down on this 103 car in Nelly and this 22 Rick Craddock. That's 10th and 9th position, respectively. Trying to get on by and watch this guy's going to turn 1. See how quick this 28 makes work around them.
17 into the wall there. Go and watch Mac Daddy here. Trying to get back up through the field in this 28 car.
"28 right on that back bumper of the 103 car, giving a big push down the front straightaway.
Hear everyone working the throttle there through turn 3.
Caution's back out here. Looks like the 4 of BSR Silver Bullet will bring out the caution again here. Lap 31 of 70, turn 3.
Goes for a spin all by his lonesome once again.
I think there's a lot of rear weight in that 4 car, Joe.
Yeah.
And that was what we were talking about at the top of the show, is that these guys, you don't... Remember we used to not break immersion with NR? You were like, don't break immersion, don't break immersion.
No, go ahead.
And I do it all the time. But no, NR 2003's got like an inherent thing with it where you don't have any kind of brake bias adjustment in the car mid-race. If you have your car set up very loose, you can't adjust the brake bias to tighten it up. Most other racing sims have that, and NR2003 doesn't for some reason. You can adjust it when you're making the setup, but you can't do it on track on the fly. And I think a lot of what these guys are running into tonight is that they got a lot of rear weight in the car. They got a lot of wedge taken out of the car to really loosen it up and really get the car to basically just rotate the turn by itself without even touching the brakes. That's the fastest way to get around some of these turns, is that if you're not touching the brakes and the car's rotating so much that you just need momentum to slow it down, it works out pretty good. And that's usually the special sauce to being fast at a lot of tracks now, 2003, regardless of type and age. Always is like a good, quick, sloppy way of setting up a setup. Without a lot of finesse, without having to do a lot of fine tuning to it. It's just basic, okay, I got you close enough, which is good for making steps on the fly. But the issue is that because you can't adjust that brake bias and you're in the race, anytime where you have to use the brakes in a situation that you're not anticipating, it's usually going to be enough to just spin the car around.
What if I don't want to spin the car around?
Well, then you make sure you set your brake bias to 65-70% at the start of the race. And then hope you don't have to press the brakes.
Ricky's like, what was I just talking about, Joe? What did I just tell you?
Yeah, just tell you.
Now here's a guy.
Joe, are you fun?
Well, I'm always having fun when I'm working with you, Ricky.
Back under to the inn. What I just said there. One show, we'll be back green here. You're going to have the 92 Joshua Clemens leading. We mix up a little strategy here by 92. What do you think? Is this 92 going to be able to...
I don't know. It's a roll of the dice, but you got to roll them, right?
I think you do.
Roll them now. Don't roll them later.
Roll them later or not. Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Joshua Clemens with control here for the restart, coming to lap 35 of 70, just at halfway in this one from Pocono. Green flag. See Nelly further back making a dive to the inside of Rick Craddock for the 8th spot. 7th spot, excuse me. Gary Scott already losing a couple here on the restart. Clements able to hold on to the lead through turn 1, Ricky. Always, Zach, always.
So hanging on to that lead, BC. Ricky J's right on his back bumper. Going to look to the inside, turn 3. Ricky J got to be careful here on those cold tires.
He's going to make it stick. Big move there from the 93 of Ricky J to wash up in front of the 92. Ricky J back to the point as Clements is loose off of turn 2. Or 3, excuse me.
And look at that, Joe. What did I tell you? 28 back on point.
Well, he's in second, but...
Well, back on second.
Back
point.
in the top 3.
Top 3. Almost kind of sort of point. He's getting there. He's up in the front again. That didn't take long. I told you. He has a fast car. Oh, he's going to get that run to the inside of the 93 here. 93 gets a little loose off of that tunnel turn. It looked like the 28 checked up for him, man. His nose right there and ready to make a shot for it. Now it looks like 28's going to wash up the track just a little bit. Going to give 17 cars some room on the inside to get side by side with him. This is a fight for the second spot, Joe.
Stinson not able to mount enough of a charge there down the front straightaway. McDaddy holds on.
Ricky J in that 28 car. McDaddy kind of starting to gap out on the 17 of Stinson. Tyler Mallett back and forth spot, tracking him down, trying to make a run on this 17 machine.
Oh, McDaddy getting really close there to the back bumper of the 93. Couple of Fords leading the way here at Pocono.
Mac Daddy is still not able to get around this 93 car.
You just can't
Keep
figure
it
it
right
out,
with him,
Ricky.
though. The 17's gotten back to the 28 again. He's like kind of been a back and forth with these guys. I think right now, Joe, these guys are trying to just kind of click off some laps, kind of find a way to get some progress around this place. You know, just had some early cautions, so now I think they're trying to get some runs here. 30 laps to go in this race. It's about, a minute around the track, so it's a good amount of time left. In terms of fuel, do we know what the fuel run's going to look like here in terms of laps? Do we get any discussion about this from the garage?
Yeah, it's usually about 18 to 20 laps.
So we'll have to keep an eye out for that, probably within the next 10 laps.
Yep.
What these guys end up doing. I would think they're just going to run it out before people start pitting. But, Pocono is one of those places, because it's so big, that sometimes if you pit early, you might be able to jump some people by short pitting.
Yes. Yep, take advantage of those new tires, right?
Yeah.
It's about a 53-second lap time. So that's plenty of time if you're close to the front to pit without losing a lap. But again, as this run goes on, we're going to see this field continue to stretch out.
Oh, 88 is letting these guys on by, but he's kind of up in the wall. I don't know, Joe. What do you think? What's the strategy here for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I always like to go as long as possible before pitting. I know that you give up some time for the guy that pits before you, but I'd always rather pit with a yellow. Although, again, with this kind of falling into that road course category, you want to pit before a yellow happens. I definitely want to pit sometime after lap 50. That's right, Zach. Always. I mean, Ricky, what would you would want a short pit, right? You're always aggressive with the strategies.
Well, I mean, you could do a few things. I don't know. Do you want a short pit for that?
Well, no, what would you want to do personally, as Dane Stinson's gotten around Mac Daddy?
Well, that's what I mean. I'm not really sure what I would want to do for that because it's tricky because these guys out here are on worn tires and these cars are getting tight. So I would think that conventional wisdom would say that they're probably going to be running green to the end. But if you short pit and there's a caution, you've lost all that ground. You're not getting that back. Here, there's a little bit less risk because it takes so long to get around here that you're probably not going to get lapped. But still, it's kind of like it's a tough decision to make, especially if you're talking like pitting right at the top of your window to see if you can guys sneak around some people. Doable, but I don't know if I would do it. It's a risky move. It's got a lot of payoff if it works, but there's a lot of room for just like anyone else to kind of just like abide by Murphy's Law, you know? I don't know. What would you do, Joe?
I told you I'd wait as long as possible. But I know the rationale for pitting early.
I don't know. What would you do, Joe?
I don't know. What would you do, Ricky?
I don't know. What would you do, Joe?
I don't know. What would you do, Ricky? If you saw this happening in front of you,
If you saw this happening in front of you,
encourage you folks at home as we're waiting for this cycle of green flag pit stops to start here in the next 10 laps or so. To make sure you tune in Saturday night, Lynn Voiles Memorial Race from the Daytona International Speedway. Trucks at Daytona, always a very fun time, a great night of racing coming at you. Again, that's this Saturday, February 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on JTN. Always a fun time, going to be a good one. Myself, Austin Spencer in the booth. Saturday night, excuse me, from Daytona, and then heck, you'll get to go watch the Clash on Sunday. So a lot of great racing this week. Fake Racers podcast should be coming back here over on Track and Turf. So if you want to hear my NASCAR opinions, you can go on over there throughout the season. Gotta get those boys back in the swing of things too, Ricky. Went on a very long hiatus this offseason.
Four cars under a blanket though right now for this first spot. Really, these guys have just all been running even lap times with each other. I think part of this though too is what we were talking about at the top of the show. Also talking about the top of the show. Talking about a lot of things at the top of the show, but the fact that draft is definitely at work here on these straightaways. I think it's letting these guys kind of just keep up with each other, even if they don't have the faster car. But I also gotta think, Joe, that these guys are running around behind the 93. This draft is also helping them save a little bit of fuel.
Yes. Yeah, well, yeah, the 18's going to run it out. Closing on 20 laps to go, and that 18 car's getting bigger in the rearview mirror of the two leaders. Mac Daddy's starting to fade. Hoo-hoo-hoo.
51 to 70 laps tonight. 20 laps to go in tonight's race here at Pocono on JTN. Joe, we're getting right to that point that we're going to be getting within this pit window.
That's right.
So I think this is where we're going to start seeing these guys play around with this idea of when do you come in.
When do you come in?
I said 18 laps, right?
Yeah, it's probably closer to 16. I might have fibbed.
Yeah, I think that you'd probably...
But we are closing
wanna-
in.
So you'd probably want to be on the front end of the run to kind of like get some advantage.
Yes.
'88 lets everyone on by. You see, Mac Daddy's really lost some ground on these guys.
And that's what we talked about early in the race, right? He's so good on the short run, but it feels like at 28 always seems to struggle on long runs at these types of tracks.
Look at the in-car here. Still sounds like he's been staying on it. And here comes Stinson coming down pit road, Joe. We talked about that. He's really going to take a chance on this because about 17 laps. Split difference from what we're talking about, 18, 16.
You're already seeing a couple cars coming off pit lane. Monty Keller there in the 028 going to try to stay on the lead lap. It's that red and white Chevy there in front of the 93. Tyler is closing in quickly on Ricky J here. Really put on the afterburners.
Let's see if this means that the rest of the guys up front here stay out or if they're going to try coming down.
Well, I think Ricky J has
Ricky
to
J
pit.
really got sideways there coming off that tunnel turn.
I think his car's a little too uncomfortable now. And for Tyler's going to have to kind of gauge how much to push on this next run as they're all going to come down this time by. So top three all coming down pit road. Dane Stinson had already pit from third.
Now here comes the flip question, Joe. Does someone like 095 Wiley King, I think, is going to assume the lead from these guys as they all come down pit road?
That is correct.
Does anyone, as the 028 of Monte Keller actually just gone to the outside wall, he stays straight, we stay green, but does someone stay out here and try to game a caution, see if they can use it to their advantage?
I would think these guys that pit would not pit right away. Let's go ahead and find.
Yeah, but if you're staying out and you get that lead and there's a caution, you get to come down pit road and get fresher tires than anyone else in the field.
Here comes the 17 off pit road. Tyler Mallon was able to jump to the lead of the three that came down together, but Dane Stinson will cycle through to the race lead. And that's just by pitting one lap earlier. Wiley King now down pit lane.
Next car behind Wiley King will be the 144 car, Magoo. We'll see what he does as Stinson is catching up on that 144 machine.
Yeah, I think Magoo's pitting here. I think he's got a pit. Yeah, here it comes.
Yep, here it comes. Look at this strategy call below by the 17 about coming early. Like we were talking about this. Would this be the move that wins the race? Making everyone else pit by jumping in first. And 17 car leapfrogged to that lead. And now should have enough to make it to the end of this race. And Joe, we saw it earlier. The 17 actually. I'm wondering if this might have factored into that early pit with them too. Is that they early in the race they stayed out and they were basically on like I don't remember how many laps, like five or so, 5+ laps, more than 5, less than 10 laps tires. When one of the cautions came out and they stayed out for track position, and they didn't really lose a lot of ground on these guys. You got to think that that crew chief on the box was taking note of that. Because pitting early, 1 lap difference between these guys really doesn't change that much. They're kind of, for all intents and purposes, on the same footing here. They can all make it to the end. They all have about the same tire life. A good call by that 17 crew to get the driver out up front in clean air here as they go underneath the 88 car. Craig Jules lap that car again.
And
so right now we got the 17, the 18, the 28, and the 93 in this top 4 in this front gaggle. Next car on track in position is Joshua Clements in the 92 car in 5th position. It's about 6 seconds back from our leader. So kind of out of the discussion right now. Is going to need to start picking up some good laps to really catch these guys. But the issue is when you have 4 cars in a line like this, that means their draft is kind of king. You're not going to get the same pull in the straightaways as them. They're going to be putting up faster laps. So kind of in a tough spot right now for this 92 car unless there's some shenanigans up front.
There always seem to be shenanigans, though, right?
Yeah. A caution would change everything.
So you can't say it like that, man. I was like, what? You scared me. Putting Eli a lap down there in the 114. Yeah, that 18 and 28, they're trying to work together to get to this 17. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tyler Mallon ends up putting up a fight here at the end of this race. That 18 car has the long run speed, Ricky. Mac Daddy there, though, in the 28. When do you think we see it? Do you think we see that car fall off the cliff again?
It might be possible depending on how fast, how much he's leaning into that car right now.
Mm-hmm.
Third spot, I gotta think he's been giving it his all, but I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
What do you know?
I don't know. 11 laps to go here, though, at Pocono. Our top 3, you can all within a second of each other, all within 3/4 of a second of each other.
Ooh, 17
So
really loose there off
17
one.
extension just wiggles a little bit off the exit of 2. The interesting thing to me, Joe, is the fact that this 93 Ricky J has actually been losing ground on these guys. The car's been fast all race. That was kind of
Well,
that's kind of surprising that it's just a little out of step with the rest of these.
But is he saving right now? You know,
you think so?
He might be. I don't know. It's possible. Oh no, Mac Daddy!
Oh no!
Around in turn 3 goes the 28. Caution will be out here. As Mac,
And that is the end of the night for Keith McLean. That's disappointing. Had a great night going.
oh my goodness. And that changes everything, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Just got loose, pushing the issue there, trying to get around the 18 and the 17. And as you said, his night's over. So some pretty critical pit stops upcoming here. Oh, Ricky.
The pretty critical pit stops indeed.
Would you take a swing at strategy here at all, or you think that's a futile effort?
I mean, 10 laps to go. I think that's enough time.
To take a straight swing at strategy?
Exactly.
Okay. Everyone coming down. You see right side's going on. The 93 misses his box. He's going to lose a lot of time here, Ricky. Denson
See
is
what
out.
happens here, Joe, coming off. That's really going to hurt the 93, but is the 17 going to be able to make it off? 92, Joshua Clements tries to get past that 17, but he can't. Big leapfrog by him, though. Nelly, brain
I was
fade.
going to say a lot of two-tire calls there.
A lot of interesting calls on that one.
2 tires, maybe some tape, maybe some wedge, maybe, you know.
Now, Joe, the thing about that is that the 17 took 4 tires.
Oh, I know.
So we'll see what happens to Eli and Silver Bullet, and I think Jules will lap down. Eli and Silver Bullet are on the... They might actually be a lap down, so they
they're
don't have to take
both
the wave
lap down.
around.
Yep.
So Stinson's going to be leading coming back, but like a lot of the cars around him aren't going to be like aren't going to be tight. Aren't going to be with that 4 tires.
You ready for this restart, Ricky?
I'm ready for this restart, Joe. We're going to have a fun time here.
You're like, yeah. Restart. Oh, and the laps keep going. They keep ticking away.
More they're taking away, the more that's going to help these guys who got to take 2 tires.
Well, and if you get another quick caution, does that end the race? You know, that's the other thing to think about here.
Mojo 1 lap to green. We'll be going with 6 laps to go.
You feel your heart racing yet?
It is going to get my heart racing indeed.
Getting amped up?
It is getting me amped up.
Amped up. Stinson gonna have control here for the restart, coming to 6 laps to go from Pocono. Can he hold off Joshua Clements, Nelly, Rain Fade, those cars all on 2 tires. Then you got Tyler Mallon with 4, Terry Scott, Monty Keller, Rick Craddock, then Ricky J. A couple guys with some cars to pass if they're to get back to where they were when that caution came out. Dodge Charger pace car will make the left turn down pit lane and gives way to Stinson in the 17. And back, away we go. Green flag once again here for what could be the final time tonight from Pocono.
Stinson leads him down to turn 1. That 92 car Clemens staying right with him. As you see the 103 and Nelly starting to drop back a little bit. Brain fade, a bit of a bobble there on the exit. See everyone scrambling around trying to get position. 93 jumping around the 68, going to the inside of the 028 at the same time.
No time to waste.
The 18 get to the inside of the 49.
No time to waste here right now in these closing laps. You see Mallon looking for 4th. Gets on by Brain Fade there. This time at the line, it'll be 5 laps to go from Pocono. It's fun to say. Still some jostling and weaving. Ricky J gets on by Rick Craddock there for the 6th spot. Stinson, though, has about a 3/10, maybe 4/10 of a lead. Of a second lead over Joshua Clements heading into the tunnel turn, Ricky.
Coming down the tunnel turn, Stinson hanging on to that lead with Clements trying to stay in tow about 3/10 of a second back. A little further back, that 95 car, not sorry, 028 car, Monte Keller swung that rear end out pretty far on exit, kept it underneath them, stayed going.
It's never good when you
But
can read.
right now, Stinson just trying to stay the course here on this 92 car, making sure that he does not slip up, he doesn't overdrive it. If he can hang out here for the next 4 laps, he might walk away with the win on this one.
It's never good when we can read that right rear quarter with our head-on shot down the short chute. Tyler Mallon making the pass here on Nelly for 3rd. You see Ricky J trying to make a pass for 5th on Brain Fade. Into the tunnel, they'll be side by side, a precarious position for both drivers to be. But they make it through.
Stinson hanging on with Clemens staying right in tow. Hasn't really been able to close the gap. Still about 0.3 of a second, but staying close on those 2 tires is Joshua Clemens, that 92 car.
Ricky J making a pass for 4th in the 93. 2 laps to go here at the line. Can Joshua Clemens mount a charge and get back to the bumper of Dane Stinson in the closing laps here at Pocono?
And I2 really threw it into turn 1 there, and you saw that he's losing just a little bit of time to 17. Got close to him in the entry one, but it seems like on exit wasn't there. But did close it down from 0.3 to 0.25 last time by. So we'll see if he can do anything here as the 17 cars could come into turn 3. Getting a challenge for that 92 of Clemens as they're going to come off the last, turn 4 to line for the 1 lap to go, Joe.
White flag in the air, 1 lap to go, presented by Death Craver. You can check out the book from Zach Rogers, now available on Amazon. That's Death Craver, 1 to go. Dane Stinson with the race lead here in the number 17. Just has to make 1 more circuit around this 2.5 mile triangle.
See if Clemens has anything, or if he throws a Hail Mary here in these last 2 turns. He's been good in 2 and 3.
Into the tunnel, nothing going. Into turn number 3 for the final time. Clements with 1 last grasp to try to grab the lead away from Stinson, but off of turn number 3, Dane Stinson's into the wall. Joshua Clements with a run. It's going to be closer than expected, but Stinson takes home the victory. Joshua Clements there in 2nd. Tyler Mallon comes home in 3rd. Ricky J and Nelly round out your top 5. But a heck of a drive from the driver of the number 17. Started out back, now getting spun by the 18 after the race. Don't know what that's about. Oh no. Now we're being silly. A great run. Oh my goodness. Great run by the driver of the number 17 to come home with the victory here tonight. What's up, Michael? So Dane Stinson brings it around, and he'll get to burn it down for the fans here at Pocono. I don't think he's doing any more burning down, Ricky.
Okay, he did plenty.
We'll move on to our post-race coverage to get results on your screens here in mere moments, folks. Again, can't thank you enough for tuning in to JTN tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. We appreciate you so much for tuning in here tonight to JTN for our first broadcast of the year. Crazy to think it was. Results on your screens. And let's go ahead and start by talking to our third place finisher, driver of the number 18, BSR Tyler Mallon. Tyler, you got a copy?
I got a copy.
Well, podium. I know that last pit stop maybe didn't go as planned. What happened? With the strategy calls.
I made the right adjustments. I just kind of was doing them while entering my pit box, and then I kind of missed my pit box, and I screwed the 93 over. That's what I feel the worst about. I don't want to mess anyone else's up. I don't really care about how I do at that point, as long as I don't mess up anyone else. But yeah, had a fast car in the long runs. Wasn't really able to keep up with those guys in the short runs. But I felt like if that last caution didn't come out, it was going to play right into my hands because they got the track position and Dane was on older tires. And but it is what it is. We'll come get them. I don't even know where we are next week.
Yeah, where are you next week?
We are at Michigan, my favorite.
Oh,
yeah.
well, we're back next week then.
Great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Woohoo! Yeah.
No, I'm happy you guys are going to be back, but that's not a great
JTN,
track for me.
back on your airwaves next week, 1 week from tonight. Didn't even realize it. Heck yeah. That's called our marketing department has been sleeping. Sorry, Tyler. That was a tangent.
No, you're good.
Pocono, though, it's the tricky triangle. How tricky was it tonight?
It was
Mildly
certainly
tricky?
tricky, that's for sure, actually. It was, car didn't really handle that well for the first half of the race. Made some adjustments, got better.
Now, real quick, if I can interject, would you call that a skill issue, or?
Well, yes.
Okay.
But because I missed the setup, and I'm not really great at these 2+ mile tracks. But either way, came home with a P3, so I'll take that.
Well, Tyler, again, a great run here tonight. It's always a pleasure to get to talk with you after these races. Congratulations on that podium finish. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. Great partners on the car, great folks behind you. Floor is yours. You know what to do.
Well, first off, thank you guys for broadcasting tonight. It's always fun having you here, and always fun talking to you after the race. Thank you to Interstate Batteries for being on the car. Everyone at Bomb Squad for putting on a great race as always. And yeah, that's all I got for tonight.
Well, Tyler, again, as always, seriously, it's always a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk with you after the race. You always give us some great insights, and always take the slight ribbing, take it very well, so we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the big, good finish here tonight, and yeah, hope to be talking with you again soon.
Thank you very much.
Tyler Mallon, driver of the number 18, your third place finisher here tonight. Let's go ahead and next talk with our second place finisher, driver of the number 92, Joshua Clements. Joshua, do you have a copy?
Hello?
Hello. How are you?
Pretty decent. Sucks to lose out a little bit at the end, but based on where it was with 10 to go, I'll take a second.
I was going to say, pit stops there really helped you and this 92 bunch get some track position, and then you did an excellent job to hold on to it. What's going through your mind when you come off pit lane and you're looking out the windshield and there's only one car in front of you for the restart?
Yeah, it was, I was surprised. I was just lucky to get back into it because I had a little mishap on pit road, and that forced me to not get my left side tired, and that's why I lost the main draft on that second to last run. And then had some kind of rumors about some issues with my competitors, and it came out just second to Dane. So I was like, okay, I got a shot. I made my car a little looser, but didn't know if I really had enough to quite get him, and just came up a little bit short.
And he hits the wall there off of turn 3, coming to the checkered flag. How fast did your heart start beating in that moment?
No, well, what the beat, I was mad because he didn't make a mistake the entire run until when it didn't matter because he was further away. That pissed me off because I would have, if he made that lap before, we would have been side by side into one. But, yeah, it was, it was. I was just trying to push him in a mistake because even if I could get to him, I didn't think I had enough pace to ever get past him. So.
Oh, I hear you. Obviously, Pocono, it's one of these tricky tracks. We saw a lot of folks really struggling with a loose exit feeling in their car tonight. Did you have that same feeling underneath you? And then how did you kind of combat that behind the wheel?
Not at the start. I made it looser as the race went on to try and get a little bit more speed. And then it was a little sketchy at the exiting 1 after a restart. But after that, my only problem thought was just entry of 3, and that wasn't like a loosen. It's just the lack of grip makes it really uneasy getting in, so it makes it hard to push into it. But beyond that, it was I think it was mainly tight. Getting out of the corner, that I couldn't quite get the power down or carry momentum as some of my competitors were. So that's what my main battle was.
Well, Dane, Joshua, a great run.
Gosh, you win the race and you
I know.
get my name.
I
Gosh.
know. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Joshua, a great run here tonight, man. Second place finish for you in this 92 bunch. I know you wanted one more, but still great run, especially like you said, considering the bad luck that plagued you the run before. Congratulations on that second place finish. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. Great partners on the car, great folks behind you. Floor is yours. You know what to do.
Yeah, it's been a good run of the bunch for the 92 team. I gotta say, Ally and Lowe's for their continued support and not paying me at all to do this. I do this because I'm a hopeless Jimmy Johnson fan, but it's okay. Thanks, thanks to the team that doesn't exist in the game, and my computer for not crashing on me.
Heck yeah. Joshua, congratulations again on the second place run. Always a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk with you. And hope we're talking with you again soon, buddy.
Yeah, hope to see you guys broadcasting again soon.
Yeah, we'll be here next week. Joshua Clemens.
Awesome.
Driver of the number 92, second place finisher here tonight from Pocono. Let's go ahead and finally head on down into Victory Lane and talk with our race winner. He's the driver of the number 17, Dane Stinson. Dane, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I gotcha.
All right, winner, chicken dinner. Big calls there at the end to short pit on that green flag cycle. In the moment, did you know that was going to be the race-winning strategy when you were the only one to take that strategy?
Yeah, it was definitely risky because, after we made the stop and I passed those guys, definitely there during that run, the car was starting to get very loose, and I was getting worried those guys were going to fly right past me because they were catching up to me pretty quick. I think that last caution actually saved me there because that would have been close, but I think those guys were way faster than me. I was just losing the car right there.
With that swing, then, would you say it was about 10, 11 laps into a run that your car started swinging evil on you?
Yeah, I mean, maybe about 15 laps. I mean, the car was great all night. I didn't have to make any adjustments. It drove the way I wanted to, especially in the long run. I think I was, not to sound cocky, I think I was probably the best car in the long run the entire night. But yeah, probably about actually 15 to 20 laps in, it started to get a little loose, but that time I was driving it so hard trying to stay ahead of these guys. But yeah, I think it was just a great car, great setup, really hit it out of the park this time.
Well, tough luck of the draw there. I know you didn't qualify, so kind of got seated towards the back of the field to start this race, but how did you manage to kind of make a methodical charge to the front and not overdo it, especially with that spell of cautions at the start of the race?
Yeah, just staying confident, staying patient. Like I said, we had a great setup the entire night. So it's just, being confident, being patient, just letting it come to me. The cautions might have helped out too. I know some guys ahead of me were getting into some incidents. So that definitely helped out as well. But like I've always said, it's a big patience game. You gotta be patient, have confidence, it'll come to you.
Well, gets to you tonight, Dane. A big win here at Pocono. Congratulations on it. Made it a little exciting for us off of turn 3 there at the finish. I'm sure maybe a little more exciting.
Sure.
a little more exciting than I think you and your crew wanted there. But, man, congratulations on the win. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. Got a great-looking car, as always. Great sponsor on. I know you got some great folks behind you. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Yes, sir. So I want to thank you guys for putting on this show, putting on this broadcast tonight. I want to thank Bomb Squad for putting on this race tonight. All these guys that come out and compete, best ones in the game, without a doubt. I want to thank Adidas, even though they don't pay me. I'm just repping their brand. So hopefully they appreciate that. But, yeah, just want to thank everybody involved with this program.
Well, Dane, again, congratulations on the big win tonight here from Pocono. Always a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk with you. Can't thank you enough for your time here this evening. Hope we're talking with you again soon. If not, even sooner next week after the race at Michigan. Congratulations on the win here tonight, bud.
Thank you, guys. Yes, it's Michigan next week. That's another one I think I can win for sure.
Hey, we're going to be there for it. Good luck, and yeah, let's talk to you again next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Dane Stinson, driver of the number 17. Your race winner here tonight from Pocono. Ricky, that's going to wrap up our coverage here. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. I think it's time for a lot of folks to go to bed. Wrap it up for them before they hit their pillow and go to sleep.
Yeah, Joe, fantastic night. A lot of fun. And like I say, it's Pocono. Always a blast. And I hope everyone tonight had as much fun as we did.
I love it how that's your generic response. What can I say? It's insert racetrack name here.
I do say it a lot, don't I?
You do, but I mean, you're not wrong.
They're all fun. I like them all.
You're not wrong. You're not
They're
wrong.
all fun.
You love all your children equally.
Yeah.
He's like, yep, all right, let me go to bed. Folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight to JTN. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much, all the work that we do. It also shows some great support for our friends here at Bomb Squad Racing. They do a fantastic job. Magoo, his entire admin team, Brian Voiles, do a great job bringing us out to these races, and we encourage you, if you haven't already, check them out. And also make sure you tune in Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right back here on JTN for the Lynn Voiles Memorial Race. Big thank you, as always, also goes out to Voiles Trucking, Brian and Kathy Voiles. Their constant support of our broadcasts here on JTN and our coverage of the Bomb Squad Racing League and the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. Folks, with all of that being said, though, for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for my colleague Ricky Klett, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks.
3 wide for second, but Sean Whitehill is going to bring it home and win the race at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Ricky J closing up, off turn 4. He's going to have a run to the inside. He blocks into the grass. Checkers out. Hardy wins it.
Ricky, what's going on in your brain right now?
Yeah, putting on 4 big rubber shoes and 2 gallons of, not 2 gallons, 2 cans of exploding dino juice here, Joe.
Down to the tunnel turn. These guys are throwing it through there and around to the back. Oh, no. The wall, as well as RJ Bishop. Down in front of Keith Hughes. Oh, no. Big miss. RJ Bishop. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Ricky
big
J,
wreck.
big crash into the wall.
Oh,
the leaders
no.
have wrecked. Ricky J is upside down. Magoo is hard in the wall. Tyler Mallon escapes with no damage. Everybody else in this main group, including Nelly, is junk.
Through the north chute they'll go. The 24's into the wall. Almost contact there. The 10 with the shallow entry into turn 4. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. Folks, the 24's in the wall. They make contact. Turn around. Napick goes on through the flip. Rich Napick's going to win the Culver Block 200 in thrilling fashion.